Guys, it's been a long time. Sorry about the delay. I've had a lot of stuff going on the home front. Also training and doing some stuff, studio work and doctors, and trying to get back in shape and not be a fat. Okay, so today's video is I saw a video. I think it was called BBJ versus self-defense, and just like BB. Sorry, that's an outtake. BBJ. Oh man, so Freudian slip, I guess. It was a guy who does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he was explaining how self-defense techniques don't work against Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And what he was doing was he was correct in the way that he described the self-defense techniques and how they wouldn't work. But it was kind of a logical fallacy because he presented it in a way where he was very safe. Okay, so there was two things. One was from a rear naked choke like this. He was saying the eye gouge, right? And he was saying that, oh look, if you put your thumb in my eye and you squeeze, you push really hard, so I could do anything. And he says, see, and he closes his eyes and he puts his thumb in and he says, okay, push as hard as you want, and he squints. And the problem with this is if someone's teaching you a thumb gouge like that, they didn't teach you correctly. So when you're gonna do it like a thumb scrape or a retina scrape, excuse me, you don't want to be just putting your flat part of your thumb in the guy's eye. What you want to do is take the tip of the thumb and you want to go side to side. Okay? And second of all, when you're in a fight with somebody who's not expecting you to do that, they're not going to have their eyes closed prepared for you to do this technique. They're going to go and if you get their eye, you're going to grab and you go like this. Okay? With the tip, the nail or the edge where the bone is, and you push in and you go side to side. Okay, so you don't just go like this, you want to go in and go across his eye. Okay, so it's not about pushing his eye back, it's about getting in and scraping the retina. Okay, if his eye's closed, you take the tip and you're going like this and you're scraping. Okay, so that's a very bad way of describing the thumb gouge. Yes, if the guy's in front of you, you can put your hand in his eye. But what you're really looking to do, and I always talk about this in Tai Chi, is this retina scrape where you see this movement. I talk about this in traditional Korean karate or taekwondo, right? In the old styles, when you do a sudamaki, this knife hand block or any of these are meant to that an incidental scrape in the eye. So we're guarding the lower floating rib, but we're also pointing at your eye. So if you come in, you slide in, you're gonna get tapped in the eyeball. So it's not about this flat pressure. Now, obviously, if I do this and the guy's flat with some flat, obviously, you only have a very small point of contact. Remember, it's the tip of the thumb, not the flat part of your thumb. So if you get those back, you want to use the nail. And if his eye's closed, you're pushing in and you're trying to go in and out. Okay, so you're gonna do that. The second thing he was talking about was if the guy is here to grab you and bite. Now, anti-biting defense, one of the first things I teach people is that someone wants to bite me, I give him the limb. So if someone's biting you, because the teeth are meant, we're not carnivorous, what they tell you. And, so many fucking flies today. But we're not carnivorous. We're not really meant to, to be eating like meat and tearing things apart in our mouth. So we don't really take shearing force very well in the teeth. Okay? So obviously, coming in like this is going to do damage to the person's teeth. Now, even then, you're still going to get cut up, and you don't want to be bit by anybody. The problem with his explanation is that the guy's okay, bite me and bite me on the forearm, the strong part of my bone. You don't just bite like that. So the idea is that if you're going to bite someone, you obviously want to go for the artery, brachial femoral artery. So you want to be biting him here or in the inside of the leg. Okay? You're not looking to bite him in the hard spot where he's all ready for it. And the idea is you're maneuvering your neck. So, what I prefer to teach, obviously, is to not get in the choke in the first place. So you should be doing something to avoid getting in position. When you're in a lock position, it's called a lock for a reason. Okay? You don't want to get into, I don't care what style the guy is doing, jiu-jitsu, fucking aikido, some kind of chin-na stuff. Once a lock is on, you need to be a locksmith, be able to pick a lock, okay? So the idea is to maneuver yourself either while the lock is being put on or in a position where you can survive the lock, right? It's not, once it's on, okay? That's another thing. But let's just say that you get in a position like this, you're not looking to just bite randomly. You want to position yourself so you can get inside the artery lines, not flat on the bone. Okay, that's retarded. Okay, so what we're looking to do is position by bumping the elbow. And I always say, whenever someone you want to slap the elbow across to get into this crook of the elbow and bite the tendons, okay, or bite inside the brachial artery, or bite inside, the soft side of the bones. Okay, but even then, again, if someone's not expecting it and they put you on that and you bite them, just because this guy's prepared, mentally prepared, if he wasn't prepared, some random dude just went and started, and not just like, again, you're not going, I keep saying this, when you go to use like a retina grape or a bite, you don't want to be pushing your teeth in and taking big chunks. You want to go to the surface and tear, okay? So I don't want to be grabbing the bone and go, oh, okay? You're not a dog. I want to do is I want to grab it like this and tear the skin off, okay? You want to get him on the inside and tear like that. So you're trying to do surface damage. There's a lot more nerves there. When you get a deep cut, right? Sometimes people get stabbed, they don't feel it, right? If you get a paper cut, that shit burns because the nerves are more surface, okay? So you gotta keep these little things in mind. So again, with that video, BBJ versus self-defense, I think that's the name of the video, what that proved is that both the self-defense people that were teaching that bullshit that he saw was nonsense, and this guy trying to like make his argument against that is nonsense. So we have, once again, is more martial art bullshit on YouTube. All right, and I know people are gonna say, "Oh, who the fuck am I?" Blah blah blah. And it's kind of ridiculous. Like, no matter what you present to people, they're not gonna. It's never enough. Okay, I can have 50 million black belts and like 5 billion rounds, unless you're like in the freaking WWF, WE, UFC, whatever the fuck it is now. You know what I mean? No one gives a shit. You know what I mean? But that's the deal. So. Just play with that. Think about that when you're doing your forms. Whether you're doing like Tai Chi or any of the old martial arts. You got to think more practical and think. Well, how was this? Because we got to remember, we're generations away from warrior classes. Okay, even the military and anybody who's been in the military has family in the military that's been in there will tell you that they used to have something called line, and now they have McMaps. And when you compare the two, McMaps is bullshit. Okay. The Marine Corps martial arts program is fucking garbage compared to line. All right, it's not even a thing, and I don't even know if they even know what line is anymore. So the point I'm trying to say is we've gone so far away from people who've used this shit. Like, my teacher was in Vietnam and he used this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've trained with people who use that. Trained with crazy Israeli dudes who use their shit. I've trained with guys who have first-hand experience of what these techniques do, and I have unfortunately had to use many of these techniques multiple times. Because I lived in a bad place when I was very young. I was delinquent, and when I got older, I tried to be a freaking action hero. I wanted to be the good guy, and I always got myself into shit I shouldn't have gotten myself into, for better or for worse, So with my limited experience compared to who you're asking, I can tell you I know what works and what doesn't. And I was fortunate enough to train with people who know what works and what doesn't. So take it as you will, all right? So just to recap, if you're doing eye gouges, stop thinking about putting your finger. You don't need to go all the way in, okay? You just need to scrape, all right? You're trying to get a reaction, okay? The reaction you're gonna get from scraping someone's eye or poking them in the eye is gonna be the same reaction, but the effort's much, it's different. You're just trying to get him to go, oh shit, okay? Now, again, if someone's prepared, they're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and you're gonna try to burn me in the eye now, okay? I honestly recommend grabbing the guy by the ear and putting your thumb inside of his ear and turning like a fucking doorknob or a key. That's my move, okay? And I've used this on many occasions. I've moved people around with this move where I'll take my thumb and I'll put it either in here and grab, and I'll push in like this, and I'll take my knuckle and I'll grab him like this, and you'll see the guy lift off the fucking ground, and he'll go wherever I tell him. The other one is when you grab it this way and you try to tear his ear off. All right. So I prefer grabbing by the back and trying to grab, because it's not that difficult. You can reach his head to grab a piece of ear and tear it off. I'll just put the choke on. Well, you're gonna put the fucking choke on anyway, dude. So if I'm already in that position, I'm gonna die anyway. I'm gonna take a fucking piece of your body off. That's all I care about at that point, because you're already lost. So if we're talking about the guys already in the lock, and it's like, you do what you can do. You know what I'm saying? So these are like stupid, nonsensical little arguments that they're making, and that they're not dealing with the randomized instability and chaos factor that happens, when you're in like a real, scuffle. And that's funny because jiu-jitsu guys know this. That's why I understand the guy's video. I don't know what rank he was. I just saw it really fast on my TV when I was watching YouTube. So I don't know his rank, I don't know his experience, but I would assume like jiu-jitsu guys who are rolling all the time would understand the randomized chaos factor. That's not going to happen that way. You know, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to put you in this and now try to bite me. Like, no, it doesn't. You're going to be all over the place, you know. So, going back to that with the eye gouge thing, remember, like, in a fight, you don't need to do much penetrative damage to the eye. If you do, it can cause shock and even death. So I've seen people go out cold from the pain, from like literally the shock and the pain from getting poked in the eye. They go unconscious. I've seen it. So, you know, you don't need a lot, but you know, most of the time, I think that is more than enough. You just take the slap in your hand and you slap him in the fucking eyeball. All right, that has worked plenty of times. Okay, you just bitch smack somebody in the eyeball. I guarantee you that they're not going to keep coming forward. But when you're in that choke position, do I think the eye gouge is the best move? No. You know what I'm saying? I think you should be trained to not get in that position and to make sure that your airway and your bloodway is secure. And there's so many different techniques to doing that, you know. But if I honestly always say, like, you know, you want to get into the crook of the elbow, you know, as fast as possible, but you don't want to be there. You know, I just don't even want to be there. Okay? As soon as someone's like, I want to be grabbing something, tearing something off as he's trying to accomplish that. Once somebody has a full lock on you, your job is to survive as long as possible. Okay? It's like, it's very difficult to get out of something like that. You know what I mean? That's why people tap. Okay? Because once a lock is on, you can't get out. So, but let's just say that, you know, you have, you know, because people make mistakes. Nothing's perfect. You know, so when someone puts a lock on, you know, they could be sweaty, they could be closed, it could be, you know, the way that his body is shaped. You could have a weird shaped neck, or whatever it is, and you just wind up finding a little position. My advice would be that you're always looking to bite the artery lines, and you're aiming, if you can, for the brachial artery, okay? Or you're aiming for the tendons inside the crook. If you try to do is try to turn him or nudge your face in, and you want to get a sideways bite, okay? Like this, because you want to be tearing off the surface level of muscle and skin, not deep. You're not trying to go, oh, it's stupid. Okay, we want a reaction, we want a pain response. So surface levels, you get much more pain response if I go deep. Always remember that. As for like guys behind me, if I can grab his head or his hair, I want his ears. And I want to grab that sucker and turn it like a key or a doorknob. Alright, it's very simple. Try it with your friends. You know what I'm saying? I think that the ear is a lot more manageable because you can just slide off and, like, you know, if you get into the eye, make sure that you're trying to use the tip of the thumb, not the flat part of your thumb. That was his big mistake in the argument, and whoever was teaching this as self-defense, not knowing that's an idiot, because you're trying to create pressure with the smallest point. So I would rather do this than do this. This doesn't make any sense. Not only that, it's not even against, you can't even make a closed kinetic chain. So meaning, this position doing this is only the force of one joint. If I do this is the force of my entire arm and my body. So I don't know what these people are teaching or who this, I want to know where this guy got it from, but I can't even find the video. I don't even care. But, you know, for you guys who pay attention, I think this will be interesting for you. How would you get into that position? Again, you know, I can just reiterate it over and over again, but I'm trying to remember the video, and it's really stupid. Like, it just, and the stupidity is on both sides, because, like, whoever found this self-defense shit from, and they told him to put a flat thumb in someone's eye, this doesn't make any sense. Like, there's nothing here to do this. It's like against one joint. Like, if you miss, you know what I mean? You have like the orbital bone, and you can just push his head through it and hurt your fucking thumb more than you're gonna hurt him. You know, like, I don't get it. So remember, smallest point of contact as possible. Whenever I can, I want to be going in with the tip of my nail. If your eyes closed, I go in. I'm not going in. I'm going like this. I'm trying to scrape you. I want you to feel like that burning sensation. You ever get scratched with a nail like really hard and you got like that scrape on you and it burns? That's what I want in his eyeball. I'm not trying to tear his eye out and push his eye into his brain. No, I want a response. I want him to be like, oh shit, this hurts. I don't like this. Get him away from me. I say, well, I'm just going to squeeze tighter. Well, you're going to squeeze tighter anyway. Let's say the damage. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I'm going out, you're going to remember me the rest of your motherfucking life. You know what I mean? That's the mentality. He did this choke where the guy was in between his legs. He's like, you know, trying to like bite me, whatever like that. I mean, just stick your finger in his asshole. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, but again, you want to position yourself. If you're going to do a bite, never do a bite where you're, like that, okay? You want to just, like a nibble, okay? Like a chihuahua, okay? If you're going to use bites for self-defense, it's always surface level, always for the inside of the arms, the inside of the legs, Okay, you don't want to be biting bone. Okay, that's just stupid. There's nothing here. Okay, so if he's like this, I want to figure out a way to slide my head in, just get a little turn, and just nibble. Like that, not okay? Okay, so I hope that that was an interesting video for you guys. I was gonna do some stuff. Some people want me to do like the old karate styles and you know, some like boxing stuff. I may do that next couple of weeks. Right now things are a little crazy, and I also want to get somebody, you know, when I have somebody come down, I have a partner to do demos with. It'll be a little better for you guys, because if I'm just talking, it's like it's difficult for me to really explain something. I don't have somebody to show it on, you know. You know, so being in the hermit mode, you know, the Tao monk on the mountain shit, you know, it's hard. And you got idiots on YouTube who want to watch one video and like, oh, another backyard kung fu guy, blah blah. You never fought in your life. I'm like how many times you gotta explain yourself? It's like, fuck, man. This one guy was like, you never competed. I'm like, I wish my Facebook was still up. I mean, there was pictures of me competing, and there's actual pictures of me as a ring judge at tournaments. So like, I don't know what these people get this shit from, you know? Like, you just, I don't know. But anyway, I hope this helps you guys. I miss you guys, love you guys. Anybody who wants to donate, by the way, Cash App is Tao888, and Guiding Our Divinity on PayPal, right? So paypal.me/Guiding Our Divinity. All right, guys. Catch you guys soon. Peace out.